Y'all be careful. So I'm at work and I'm noticing that um I'm just going through some files and there's a 17-year-old again having a she was arrested, and she was arrested because of assault family violence, and I'm just like, what? Why are there always like young girls getting arrested for assault family violence? And so I was like, let me actually read the file. So I actually read the file, and it turns out, and this is one of two. The second one ended up her mother had called the police on her, but the first one was like many others that I've seen where the young girl who was 17, the young girl was in a fight. It just says that the actual report stated that the person that was arrested, which was the girl, the 17-year-old, stated that the guy that she was with at this Motel 6, and I was like, okay, well, if she's at a Motel 6, that was an unsavory place to be at it. Anyway, but then all these thoughts are rushing through my head. So they were at a Motel 6. He asked her to cuddle. She didn't want to. He began to verbally abuse her. And then she told the police that she started, that's where the verbal altercation went on between between them, and he hit her. She then began to kick his chest. So that then gave me a visual of like where she had to have been placed and how low he had to have been. And then the script says that there were visible bruises on his chest. And then he began to hit back in self-defense, where he pushed her out of the Motel 6 hotel room, and then he called the police. So I want to make this video because what I'm constantly seeing, well, first off, let me tell you that I went up and I looked up his name, and I saw that he wasn't arrested. But so he wasn't arrested, but yet he started hitting her first. And I always wondered how, because I came from a domestic violence marriage, so there were just constant issues, but he never got arrested. So I've become more inquisitive about those particular offenses. And so the gentleman said that she started it, but but she was arrested. The gentleman said that she started it. She said that he started it. He had physical bruises. She did too. She was pregnant. She's turned out that she's 3 months pregnant. I don't know if they did a field test. I have no idea, but that's just what it said in this. In this this is what the police officer, the actual arresting officer, types up. And so, if you admit to the crime, then you get arrested. But you don't have to say anything about admitting anything when there's evidence there. That's how you get arrested. Now, if both of them had physical bruises, then why is it that she got? I ended up looking up this guy, and the reason why I looked him up, Motel 6, she's 17. I just believe that girls that are already at set, and she was black, both ended up being African American, and I just, in my little mind, I believe that most girls that are working are going to be somewhere else other than a Motel 6, because it's not, I don't think that it's going to be the most comfortable. I think I've been in a Motel 6. I think when we traveled from Texas to Louisiana, we stopped at just an inn, I think it was. And it had like maybe 10 or 20 rooms max in this property. But it was actually, it looked comfortable in there. So I don't know what I'm talking about that. I was trying to diss Motel 6. But anyways, I just was under the impression that she may not have financed the being there, and she may not even have wanted to be there in the first place, but because of unforeseen circumstances, she may have been there for just another reason. And by another reason, I'm thinking prostitution, trafficking. So I looked the guy up, and the guy is 39. I was like, what? So the police listened to the girl tell her story, listened to the guy tell his story. Okay, now when you're talking to Black people, I just think that people from other races aren't able to truly gauge, even within 10 years, of a Black woman and maybe even a Black man. I haven't often seen in a Black man, but I also don't often talk to Black men, so I don't know. Just this season of my life, I just really haven't been able to engage in deep conversation, but or even like light conversation, like superficial conversations, to be able to like, oh, how old are you, blah blah blah, which is why I'm single. But anyway, I just like, I don't, even if the arresting officer saw that there was a disparity, that there was such a large gap between this man and this 17-year-old romantic relationship. She's under 18. It is a crime because it's under 18. Which this girl arrested. But that's not really why I wanted to make the video. The point I was trying to make is that even though there's a large gap, that's not against the law, but it is against the law because she's under 18. Is it against the law to date someone that's under 18, or is it just socially inappropriate? I believe it's actually against the law. I think that when you're incarcerated, you cannot consent to romantic relationships because you're a property of the state. You cannot consent only because, I don't know, there's some kind of act that prevents relationships when you're incarcerated, whether it be jail or prison. But I really don't know when you're under 18. When you're under 18, you have the right to be in a relationship with someone that's older. It has to be within 3 years. By law, it has to be within 3 years. But I think the laws don't take into account mental capacity. And I think that's because I think it's an individual basis, so I can't, I think but anyways, the point I was trying to make is, the reason I'm making this video is that I know that it's a new trend. I know that the new trend is not new. It's definitely an old thing, but I've just caught onto it, and I want to bring it to awareness. Anyone that watches my videos, I want people to know that there are men and women that do go out and take in runaways, that take in men and women looking for shelter, community, just another human person to be looking out for them, to care about them, not so much like looking out and protecting just to be concerned or just to be interested or to talk to them. So with runaways, they're going to come across these kind of individuals. But the thing is, you've got to get into an altercation. When you get into altercation, or no altercation at all, you've went the string that you can hang them from is getting them arrested. Then the perpetrator, the one that called the police, because it was the man, the 39-year-old that called the police on this girl. And when you see this black broomstick that they arrested that's 3 months pregnant, I'm just like, she kicked you. And then I looked him up. Yes, he was skinny as well. But yes, just because of people's size, it doesn't not at all reflect the amount of strength that they have. But anyways, I do know that there's just a wave of young girls coming in, and it's because of assault, family violence. Yes, they believe that they're or involved in a genuine relationship. I authentically am pursuing you, just as you are genuinely and authentically, wholeheartedly are pursuing me as the girl, but you're actually a victim. and we will get into an altercation. I will call the police, and you will get arrested, and I will press charges, and I'm gonna bond you out. And when I bond you out, I will forever hold this over you. There will be so many things that I am going to request you to do, not request, command you to do, and you must meet those demands. If not, I will be calling the police, because you're not supposed to be out at this time anyway. You're not supposed to be in this location anyway. You're not da 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 da. And it's just a repeated cycle of keeping that girl on the other end of this puppet strings that they play. Terrible. Just seeing it over and over and over. Seeing it come into the jail. And we all have plight, but that's just, it's terrible. Oh well, tell me what you think.